Gonna change the oil on this Wright Sentar mower. It's kind of a weird one. It's a sit down, seat folds up, or you can stand up. Kind of an oddball. But just gonna do a quick oil change and kind of show you how to do it. And this has the Kawasaki 23 horse in it. First thing I did is let this thing run for about 10 minutes so it's nice and warm. And then we're gonna go to draining. In this case, this has like a little drain valve on it with an elbow. So I put a piece of hose, which I don't know how it will be on yours, but I just took a piece of 3/8 hose here and I ran it all the way down so into a drain pan. Otherwise you're going to have a mess. I was just going to vacuum extract the oil out, but that's not typical. A lot of people don't have those, so it's not going to show you much. So I'll start with just opening the dipstick. Just set it on there. I'm going to open this valve and see if it starts to drain. Let's see what happens. There she goes. And while that's still draining, I'm going to grab my handy dandy filter pliers here with one hand somehow and crack this filter loose. There we go. Packed a bunch of towels underneath here and make kind of a less of a mess. It's still going to make a mess. Oh, there it goes. Take this opportunity to take one of these towels and just wipe around the sealing surface. Make sure it looks decent. And then I'm going to pick up all my mess. And I'll shut the valve while we're at it. It's pretty much done. I have my oil filter here on the bench. I'm just going to pre-fill it with a little bit of oil. Behind the scenes, can't see it. A little bit, and then, you know, take your oil and rub it on the gasket. And you just pop the filter back on. Make sure you don't cross thread it, and zing it on there. Once it gets on there, just give it a nice snug 3/4 turn or so. Clean up the rest of your mess. And we're ready to fill this bad boy up. Wanted to show you something interesting. Not very interesting, but anyway, it says do not turn cap on threads to check the oil level. So when we put the oil back in and we're going to check it, just set the cap on, don't thread it in. Got my funnel in there and got my earl. Use whatever you want to use, viscosity and type. It's going to be up to you. People get too butthurt about what oil you use. So this is what I'm using. Earl. I'm going to dump about 2 quarts in there and check it. I put about 1.5 quarts in it. I'm going to start it and then shut it off and then check it again. So I ran it for about 30 seconds, shut it off, pull the dipstick, wipe it off. And then set it back in, just like that. Pull it out. What do we got? So if you look here, it looks like it's over full. But flip it over, and it's about there. So it's a little bit low yet. I'll wipe it off and check it again. Yeah, it's about there. So it's just about 3/4 full. So originally I put about 1.5 quarts in there and I added a few more ounces. And we're right there. Perfect, right at the full mark. I'll just dip it in there again. Yep, perfect. So not quite 2 quarts. And that's it. If you have one of these weird things, now you know how to change the oil, if you didn't already.